So if you were in class, okay, you guys were in class yesterday, the first day, and I want you to tell me what we learned on our last class before I start today's class. Hello, is there anyone?
Hello, sir. Yes, sir. So yes, in our last class, we talked about you introduced us to like the will I say the collab environment, and then you also taught us about keywords. So then we imputed a particular like programming code, like call it a programming code that generated some keywords for us. And you told us that we should not use keywords as like they are unique words that we cannot use to assign name to a particular variable. Then you also talked about identifiers too. So that was what I learned in the last class in summary.
Okay, Amos, I would like to hear from you.
Good evening. In our last class, we talked about our Python environment and then different platform whereby we could build Python for our analysis and while we talk about Google Colab, talk about keywords and variables and also identifiers.
Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So, Favor, I would like you to um, tell the person you invited to join the class.
I've called her. She's having network issues. That's the problem. She has been trying to connect since.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so I'll start the class now. So today we are talking about variable naming, rules for naming variable slash identifier, which we started on our last class. We started the rules for naming an identifier slash variable. So this is the rules for naming identifier slash variable. We said that one, we cannot start with a digit. We cannot start what with a digit. So when we try to see some examples, and we added one at the beginning and it gave us an error. So today we are going to see more rules, more rules. When we talk about more rules, these are we cannot start with digits. It's not just the rules. We have a lot of rules for naming variable slash identifier. So we, before get started, I have to what connect my I have to connect. Now for me to connect, I'll come here to connect to allocate a storage for me. Now if you watch me when I'm working with this platform Google Colab, I always connect. Why? Because it will help me to allocate storage space, which I explained to you guys at the beginning of this class. So let's see the rules for naming variables. Okay, now this is where we stopped. Now we are moving to two two. Now two, we are going to say identifier cannot use special symbols. Identifier cannot use special symbols. Identifier slash variable cannot use special symbols. So let me write it out. So I would like to hear from you. What do you understand by special symbols? Huh? What do you understand by special symbols? Okay, Amos, do you understand the word special symbols?
No, sir.
Okay, have you gone through your phone before when you are chatting? When you are chatting, you always see a dollar sign slash asterisk, uh, this at sign.
Yes, sir.
These are special symbols. These are special symbols. So you cannot use special symbol like the at, dollar sign, or any other symbols. So let's see an example of what I just explained. I'll pick a code. Now let's declare a variable called uh, Amos. Now Amos is equal to let's say 20. Okay, if I run it, automatically run. Amos will run because it's the correct way to declare a variable. Now, when I include special symbols like at, it will not run. You see, it will not run. When I include it here again, it will not run because it is not the correct way to declare the variable or use to identify a variable. So now we have already explained what is identifier. We also talked about cannot use digit and also cannot use special symbol. So let's see some of the rules. Now the other rule says that keyword cannot be used. Keyword cannot be used as identifier or variable naming. So okay, now um, write a text. Let's write a text and see the meaning of that. Now let's say three. Say keyword cannot cannot be used as identifier. Now now this keyword we are talking about, which I said that it cannot be used as an identifier or variable naming. Now let's go back to our keyword. Let's pick any keyword here. Now let's pick this none. It's one of the keyword, and let's see if we can use it to declare or create an identifier. Now so we have declared a variable called none. Did you see the color change? That color signifies that it's a keyword and which is reserved for the word for the system. You cannot use it. But if you go ahead to use it, an error message will pop out. Error message will pop out. Let's see. Now let's declare variable. Let's say 50, 40. Now when I run it, error. It said cannot assign to none. It said cannot assign to none. Did you see syntax error? Cannot assign to none. Why? Because it is reserved for the system. It is reserved for the Python program. You cannot use anything like keyword. Okay, so I want you to take this as an assignment. Go and look for go and look for more keyword, uh, more rules, sorry, not keyword, more rules for naming variable. I gave you theory, so look for more keyword. I believe or I know that there are more keyword and there are more variables rules. So search for um the rules. Okay, I want you guys to search for the rules. I gave you theory, add more to it is. Okay, now let's talk about comment. Comment. When we've talked about comment, what do you understand by the word comment? uh Favor, what do you understand by this by the word comment?
Comment, like to comment on something, right?
Yeah.
So comments is like let's say when you are trying to give insights about something, but it's not part of the code.
Okay, good. Okay, comment is used to explain, lines of code. It's used to explain some programs. Okay, it's used to explain some program inside. Please note, inside a code. Inside a code, comment is used to explain a code. Okay, for more readability. For what? For more readability. So for example, let me show you an example. Let me explain it. Okay, let me explain it. Text, now I said that comment. Say comment in Python can be used can be used to explain explain code for what? More readability. For more readability. So these comments are used inside a code. Well, they are used inside a code. Okay, now let's see an example of what I just explained. Let's see an example. Okay, now inside this code, now let's declare a comment. I can use the hashtag to write a comment. Okay, for example, let me write a program to add two numbers. Let's say num1 is equal to 1, that equal to, let's say, 40, or num2 is equal to 80. Let's say results is equal to num1 num1 plus num2. Num2, then I'll come here, I'll print results. Good. Okay, now this is a code I just written. Now for other users, or people that doesn't understand code, you can write a comment to explain this particular code. For example, I can use my hashtag to write a comment. I can say, uh, let me comment on this. Okay, program program to add two numbers. Now this is a comment. It will not be read by the code. It cannot be read due to you have indicated that it's a comment. It will only understand this code, will only understand this particular line of code which you did not comment. Okay, so let me run. Now if you see our program to add two numbers, you see it gave us 130 or 130, and this other line of code did not comment, it did not run. So this is the reason for creating a comment for other users to understand what you did, and to understand the code that is being written there. So I believe you understand it, Amos.
Yes, sir.
Amos, hello, Amos. Do you understand? Amos, are you still in class? Okay. Hello, Amos. Please, if you are in class, kindly indicate, because I want to know if you guys are following. Hello, Amos.
I said yes, I'm following.
Not you. I said Amos, Daniel. Okay, I think you have network issues. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Now we have different way to comment. We have the single line comment. So this is a single line comment. This is a single line comment. So let me bracket it. Single line comment. So we have different type of comment. We have the single line comment, double line comment, and double line comments or multiple line comment. So we have the single line and multiple line comment. When we talk about multiple, we can use our let's say string to comment string. This is let's use this multiple line comment. Let's see this. Now this is a multiple line comment. Multiple. Now multiple line comment. Now we can use what? The string. Now we can use the string to make our comments. We can break it and we can break it like this. To write our multiple line of code. To write our multiple line of code, or we can also apply it at the end. Let's say at the end. When I break it to 3, we can also apply it 3 like this, and it will comment. So this is a multiple line of code. So I believe you understand the multiple line of code and single line of code. So we are going
Yes, sir.
to we are going to statement. In Python, we have something we call statement. Statements are readable code, are interpreted, and can be executed. So we have statements. Also, statements, we have the single line statements. We also have the multiple line statement. We have the single line statement and also the multiple line statement. Now let's see this. So let's see the statement. We are going to statement in Python. So statement. So statement. Now statement is a Python interpreted, or okay, let me put it like this. It's an instruction that a Python interprets and can execute. Okay, now is an instruction okay that a Python interpret in interpret okay interpreter, sorry, interpreter can execute okay. Now I believe this is okay for readability. Now statement is an instruction that a Python interpreter can execute. Now when we talk about comment, we said that we have a single line comment and multiple line comment. We have the single line comment, and we have the multiple line comment. Okay, still the same way we have statement. Statement also have a single line statement, and we have the multiple line statement. Okay, for example, let's see the single line statement. Now we can say single line statement. Now let's use our comment. We say single line statement. Let's say single line statement. Okay, now let's run a single line statement code for us. Now it's just a simple code that is written just in a straight line. Okay, line of code. Okay, for example, let's say favor. Okay, let's say let's declare this as sum is equal to 10 plus 30. Now we can just write sum. Now when we write sum, it will give us 40. Now let's see this is a single line statement. This is a single line statement. A single line statement. Now let's see the multiple line statement. Now let me copy this comment, paste it here. Now we are going to write multiple line statements. Now multiple line statement. In multiple line statement is just like running 3 lines of code. Okay, running 3 lines of code. Let's see some. Let's copy this. Okay, let's copy this. Let's paste it here. Now since we have this simple code, let's add other digits. Okay, now for us to add other digits, like we are going to add it like this. Okay, let's say plus, let's say 60 plus 50, 50. Okay, plus. Now let's add other digit again. Plus 67 plus 70. Now plus 80. Now automatically this Python interpreter we understand what I have written. We understand what I have written and execute it by adding all of them to get the sum. So let's see it now. Once I run it, it will run. Now did you see it has already added everything here and gave us 367. This is a multiple line of code. So I believe you understand it, Amos. Hello, Amos. Amos, do you understand? Okay, so let's move on. Now let's talk about we have a word called comment indentation in Python. We have a word called indentation in Python. So indentation refers to the space at the beginning of a code line. It is very important as a Python uses indentation to indicate a block of code. If the indentation is not correct, we will end up having indentation error. So indentation refers to the space at which it begins a line of code. It is very important as Python uses indentation to indicate a block of code. If the indentation is not correct, we will end up having indentation error. So we are indentation. I just explained indentation. So in Python, indentation refers to the space at the beginning of a line of code. So let's continue. So let me write out what I just explained. Let me write out what I just explained. So now we are looking out on indentation. Indentation. Now, sorry, I'm writing it inside. The code is supposed to be text. Okay, now indentation refer what? Refer to the space at the beginning of code line of a code line of a code line. Full stop. Full stop. It is very important as Python uses indentation to indicate a block of code. Full stop. If the indentation, I'm explaining, if the indentation is not correct, we will end up with indentation error. Now this is a brief explanation of indentation, and I believe we are clear with what I have taught you so far. So let's say what do we understand by indentation? Let's see the practical code of indentation. Okay, now indentation we are going to use if statement. If statement, we are not supposed to use if statement now, but we are going to use if statement to show the word indentation, because it is more important for you to know indentation. So now let's look at indentation. For example, we have uh, item item is equal to 10. Now let's say item is equal to 10. So we can use the if statement. Now we can say if item equal to 10. Now if item is equal to 10, now you see when I'm signing if statement, our single one will not, our single equal to will not be recognized, but the word equal to, we must add extra equal to the Python to recognize the word equal to. So if we are just putting just one equal to, it will look like we are assigning a variable, but we have to add one equal to for it to understand that this is equal to. Okay, now, okay, this is equal to, so automatically Python now understand that item is equal to 10. But if it's 1 equal to, it will see it as assigning a variable. No, we want it to see it as equal to. Now, we said we are using if statements to show indentation, the meaning of indentation. We are not supposed to use if statement. We are not supposed to use if statement now, but due to the topic indentation, and which we just explained, we are going to use it to explain indentation. Now, when created an item called item is equal to 10, and we said if item is equal to 10. Now, if item is equal to 10, I have to create an indentation. Now, I'm going to say print what? I'm going to say print item item is equal to 10. Okay, now, did you see this line of this space? Did you see this space? You need it for indentation. You see, we said indentation referred to the space at the beginning of a line of code. So this is a space at the beginning of a line of code. So I want you to know that when we are indenting, let me run this. This is our output. This is our output, and this our result is item is equal to 10. Okay, now let me move this print backward and run. What did you see? It said that indentation error, expected an indented block after if statement or line 2. Now automatically this system is seeing it as an error because we did not indent very well. We did not indent. So we must indent when we are writing a block of code. So this is an indentation error which we just explained. Now let us move it backward again. Let's move it backward. Did you see? it will not show indentation error again because we have created a space for it. Now this is it. So now I want us to see I want us to go into uh, variable. So variable, what do we understand by the word variable? Is there anyone that has idea? Okay, if you have an idea, you can speak. What do you understand by variable? Hello, what do you understand by variable, by the word variable? Is there anyone who can explain for me variable? Okay, favor, can you try? Okay, it seems that you are having network issues. Now, let me explain variable. A variable is a reserved memory location to store value. A variable is created at the moment you first assign a value to it. So, a variable is a memory location. It's just like a storage where you store a particular item to. Okay, for example, you have a fridge, and that fridge is a variable because you store your bottled water inside, your vegetables inside. So it's a variable. It's a variable because the fridge holds those items. Now, every uh, um, every item mentioned, once a person asks, "Can I get your vegetable?" You can tell the person, "Go to the fridge," because that fridge holds everything the person seek for. So that's a brief explanation of variables. So I believe you understand what I've explained so far. Hello, do you understand? Amos. Okay, yes, I've seen your response. So favor, I've seen your response. So is there any question? Is there any question from you guys? Okay, no question. Okay, we are going to call it a day. If you have issues concerning this class, or you want to understand it very well, you can go back to our YouTube video and watch. I believe you guys have subscribed to the YouTube video. Try, please, if you have not, subscribe to the YouTube video and watch the video. So do have a nice day. Good night from here.